What's up guys, this is Champion Amy here, and welcome to my review of The Last of Us Part 2. I've been waiting for this game for a long time, and in my opinion, it exceeded my expectations and was a complete masterpiece. But I thought everyone thought the same as me because I don't know, that's just how I think sometimes, and I get caught up in my own opinions. But I saw all this negativity about the game, and some of it wasn't for good reasons, some of it was, and they actually gave very good reasons on why they didn't like the game. But I then came to realize that this game is not for everyone, and people have completely different opinions and completely different outlooks. So I wanted to give my review on the game because I thought it would be fun, and I felt like I wanted to tell some of the people that didn't like the game how the game actually is very well done. So let's get into it. But first, I'm gonna start off with my negatives of the game. To me, the game doesn't have that many negatives, but some are prevalent and annoying to deal with. One of the annoying things is the loading screens, which can be very annoying. Like, you'll try to skip a cutscene, and then the loading screen will be twice as long. And I'll try to skip a cutscene because I'm trying to get because I was attempting to get the platinum, and sometimes it would just straight up just be so long, and I would have to wait, and then I would be able to go and then get the collectibles, which leads me to my next thing, the chapter system. I wish it was there was a mode to get collectibles, and because I didn't get all the collectibles in my first playthrough or my second playthrough, but I did well enough, and I got all the collectibles for some of the chapters. So I would click on that chapter, boom, okay, I got that one, and then I would try to go back, and it wouldn't work, which kind of annoys me. I wish it was like a collectible mode, or like a COD replay chapter, so I could just replay that chapter, get it in all its glory, and then after the chapter is done, it'd be like, do you want to keep on going, or do you want to quit to the main menu, like the encounter system? And the first chapter, I don't really like it that much, but I know it gets you used to mechanics and all that, but it's kind of slow, especially when you're playing as Ellie. You start off as you play as Abby, and you're running around, and you get chased by this horde of zombies, and then it's just high paced, it's fun. But then you play as Ellie, you're just slow rolling through this stuff, take out a couple clickers, and all that. It's just not that fun, but it can get fun. And sometimes especially in the beginning of the game, when Dina opens up like a crawl space by moving a pallet, and you have to go through there, and in the very first chapter, it doesn't let you go through there immediately. Dina has to go in there first. So if you already know where to go, it just kind of frustrates you, kind of breaks you from the immersion a little bit. And that's about it. The looting I also kind of don't like. I know it's meant to be she opens the drawer, she looks, but you'll open up the drawer, you'll see something, and then especially with opening up a cabinet, you'll open one up, and she looks around in it, and you already see something. So, and you're pressing triangle, and she doesn't pick it up until the animation's done. That's kind of annoying, and it gets very, very annoying. I just want to pick up the thing and then move on. I just want to move on. It takes too long. And one more thing is the pacing. The pacing is a little bit off and can get very, very annoying. The pacing, you play as Ellie for about 8-10 hours, right? And then you start playing as Abby. And it's the slow start. You're walking through the stadium. You see Manny. You see Mel. And the only thing I like about that is the world building. It's like, oh, you get to see. So this is the WLF base. Oh, and it's very cool. But it just starts off so slow. And I don't know if they're trying to like make you like feel bad for killing the characters, because I didn't. I didn't even feel bad for killing Mel the first time, the second time, and getting to know her. I don't like her character. She's not cool. I don't like her at all. She's just annoying. But it gets better as soon as you get captured by the Seraphites, and the world building and the character development for Abby and other side characters like Lev and Yara are very nice to see. But that's about it for my negatives. So let's move on to what I love about the game. I want to talk about the story for another topic, so I'll just talk about mechanics and stuff like that. So the mechanics are very, very good. Like, even if you like don't like the game for something, you can always like play like the game and just have fun with the mechanics, like the dodge system, very well. And it's so much fun. Like, you can pick up hammer, boom, boom, boom. And then also another thing, I like how, it might sound really sadistic, but I like how they scream when their arm gets shot off, and like their arm can get blown off. And it's not just like, oh, my arm got blown off. Oh, well. It's not like that. It's very different. And I really like that. And I also love the factions. The factions and how they build up in Abby's part. Then they have a full-on war. Is what makes Abby's Day 3, in my opinion, the best chapter in the game. Because it's just so beautiful. And in the back of your mind, this war has been building up and indicated by dialogue and scars in WLF. And also builds the world of The Last of Us, with people making up religions, and because like real life, because if you're fighting for survival, you're gonna make up a religion because you want something to believe in. You want a purpose. So I really like that. And in the WLF, just wanting to eliminate anyone that opposes them, and just so ferocious. And I think that's what makes Abby's part so great. Like, you can not like Abby as a character, but you have to admit that her parts were the most fun and high action parts ever. It was like playing on Uncharted or something like that. In my opinion, it was like playing Uncharted. It was just so fun. And she's like one of my favorite characters. Alright. Also love how much how the world has grown. Like, not grown in terms of like that, but like in terms of like vines overgrowing buildings, whatever. The diversity in the characters with ethnicity and sexuality. Like, there's so many Asian characters, and then you have a Jewish person, you have a gay person, you have a bi person. Dina's bi, I'm pretty sure, because, well, she dated Jesse, and she's dating Ellie, so I'm pretty sure she's bi. And then you have Lev, which some people complain about Lev, on how he isn't that much of an interesting character, or he's just there to push agenda, which I don't really agree with, because he's there, and you can see that, I don't know, I think, I didn't even know that he was trans. I don't even know how you can be trans in this world, but I didn't even know that he was trans. Like, I was like, oh, maybe Lily is like a bad word that they call him, and it's like an insult. I didn't really know that oh, this is what this is what it means. Oh, so her name was Lily. So his name was Lily. I didn't even know that until I saw a couple of reviews and saw some people talk about it. Either I'm just really dumb or I'm really dumb. Either way, I'm dumb. But also how they added in different shapes and sizes of women. It's not just skinny women. You have Abby that looks like Hulk Hogan. And it makes sense because she was able to go on that diet, because as you see in the stadium, there's multiple food courts and they have enough food everywhere so that she can really just like work on her diet. And she also trained a lot. She trained because she wanted to be ready for when she would fight Joel, which he didn't. Kind of killed him like a coward. And it was like, ooh, let me practice my swinging. I've been playing Tiger Woods on the N64 for years, waiting for this moment, right? And which I like that. I don't like Joel's death. I didn't like that at all. But it had a good reason, which I'll explain later. And I don't know. I just really liked how they designed Abby and made her look like Hulk Hogan, because some women look like Hulk Hogan. And the stealth parts are so fun and immersive. It's like, I've seen people compare it to Metal Gear Solid, and I can't agree with that enough. I haven't really played Metal Gear Solid, but from what I played, yes, it is very much like Metal Gear Solid. It's so fun and immersive. Like, you get it, like, you can craft a suppressor, and the suppressed SMG, that's also very fun to use, even though they give you no ammo for it. But very fun. It's very, very fun. And the AI, the enemy AI, and your companion AI are very, very good. I wonder how much work that took. Because like in the first game, Ellie can give the hunters or the infected a pat down and run across the whole entire arena 20 times and then not be seen. A flashlight will shine right in her face. She'll just stand there and be like, "Hey, how you doing? Here's your pizza delivery, my guy," and they just be like, "Oh yeah, sure, go away," and they won't even notice her. But as soon as I get seen by a flashlight, I get seen. It's not that cool. And well, I saw myself multiple times in the game trying to see, like, did they fix the AI? And they did, because like they don't get seen at all, and they're huge help. Like, they'll actually hit their shots, not just throw bottles. Actually hit their shots. It's very nice. So now I will move on to the story. The story is one of the most decisive a gamer can ever and probably will ever play. People either love this game or they hate it or just feel like the game is mediocre. And I can completely understand and respect. Completely understand and respect. And I especially respect the people who have a good reason for not liking the game, and giving a very good reason, like saying the pacing's off or da 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 or da 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 da, and I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. And I like that. But people who haven't even played the game or just hate the game for Joel's death and review bomb the game, that's very unnecessary. Like, okay, like, I get it, you don't like the game, but like, you don't have to then ruin it for everyone else who has been waiting for this game. Some people 7 years. I've only been waiting for this game for 8 months. But I feel bad for those people that got spoiled and they've been waiting. But it's kind of ridiculous to just hate the game off of one death. Like, I get it. You love Joel. I love Joel. I sobbed for a solid half an hour when he died. But you have to remember, there would be no plot without Abby and Joel's death. Like, without Abby killing Joel, there would be no plot. But you gotta understand that what Joel did was very wrong, and I'll get into that later. I'll get into that later. But I highly recommend that you play the full game, and you just play the game. You think about the ending, or you see some people explain the ending, because I know some people don't like to think about the ending of a game. They just want to explain to them, which I kind of get. But even me myself, I was lost at the ending. I was like, dude, what ending was that? Even though I came to like Abby, I was still rooting for her to get killed. Like, I was like, oh yeah, just drown her. Didn't care. Like, at that moment, I was like, we have the chance to kill Abby. Let's kill her now. But the ending, it's about forgiveness and the cost of revenge. That's the theme of the game. That's literally everything in the game. So, to me, the themes of the game are forgiveness and the costs of revenge. The costs of revenge are from Abby and Ellie. Abby lost everything. She lost her home, her friends. All her friends were killed, and was tortured and enslaved by the Rattlers. And then she was hung, she was crucified, and sunburnt, and just malnourished. As you can see, all her gains are gone. She doesn't even look like Hulk Hogan anymore, which is kind of sad, but couldn't care less. Even though, as much as I like Abby, couldn't care less. Like, oh yeah, you kind of deserve that, I'll be honest. So, in my opinion, Abby kind of got what she deserved, and worse for killing Joel, because Joel, he died. Abby didn't, and she has to live. She had to live through all that. But I kind of wish that she, like, maybe lost a leg or an arm, an ear. That would be kind of cool. And Ellie's revenge and everything that Ellie lost, she lost everything. She lost Dina, her baby, and everything else. I don't know. I'm kind of stuttering right now. And she got enveloped in her worst fear of being all alone. She was all alone. She also lost her fingers and the ability to play guitar. So now all she can do is sing, Take On Me, or something like that. I don't know. She can't really do anything with that. Unless she gets, like, prosthetics. She can't. So... And the forgiveness is when Ellie forgives Abby for what she did and for what Joel did. She was like, okay, this is getting out of hand. This is gonna cost me everything. And she let Abby go, which you have to understand. I can't explain it that well because I'm not good at explaining a lot of things. So you just have to appreciate the ending. Watch someone else's ending explain it, because I can't explain it that well. And she forgives Joel for taking her out of that hospital by that scene. And I don't know, man. I can't really talk. But in and out, the story is incredible and very decisive. And I can respect people who don't like the game and kind of think it's disappointing. But you have to realize that it's very different from the first game. It's not a love story. To me, the first game is kind of like a love story. Except it's not lovers, just a regaining of humanity. That's what it is. A regaining of humanity. This game is about your actions have consequences, and what you do can come back and really just haunt you. So it's very different from the first game. It's not just, oh, you kill all these people, no cost. You have to save this one girl. And even at the end of the first game, you did all of that. You fought through all of that for nothing. Nothing. Only thing you gained is Ellie. That's it. You fought all that for nothing. So, yeah. So let's move on to justifying Joel's death. So I kind of want to explain Joel's death and why it makes sense and is kind of justified. Joel did a lot of unspeakable things and never was a hero. Anyone who regards him as a hero is wrong. Like, he is not a hero. By no means is a hero. And even in the world of The Last of Us, nobody's a hero. You do what you do. You do the things you do to survive. And Joel got caught in his selfish desires, and he was like, Ellie is my next daughter. She's my new daughter, and I will do anything to protect her and keep her. And when he was like, she's gonna die, he was like, I cannot let that happen. And so he went, killed almost all the Fireflies and killed that doctor, which cost him his life. Killing that doctor cost him his life. And you have to realize that and move on. I love Joel, and when he died, it was like I lost a family member. I cried for a solid hour. A solid half hour. I was sobbing. 2 hours in the game, and I had to take an hour break because I was just so caught off guard. And I was like, and I was in my car ride when I first got the game. I was like, okay, how does she get on this revenge quest? And I was like, okay, I think Dina dies, which wouldn't hit me as hard because I don't care about Dina that much. I came to like her and care about her, but I just didn't feel that way. But you have to realize what he did was selfish and wrong. He got caught up in his own desires, and it cost him. It cost him everything. Now, would everyone else do the same? Yeah. But that's just because almost all of us are selfish. Unless you're like completely void of emotion, then I guess you can do it. But that's besides the point. And Joel changed. That's the reason why he didn't trust Abby. That's why he trusted Abby. Plus, people in Jackson were taught to care for others and take them in. As you can see, Tommy, he was like, we got a town down the hill. You come with us, we're stalk, and all that. And you can see Joel walking around inside there. He was like kind of uneasy. His old senses were coming back to him just then. So, and even in the first game, in the summer, when he's most his smuggler, whatever, he's trusted Sam and Henry. He trusted them twice when Henry left him to die. And he still trusted him. And he was like, I think they'll be good to have around. So you can't really make that argument that Joel would have never trusted anyone. Because, as you can see, he trusted Sam and Henry. Do they get an excuse? So, plus Joel has softened up so much. He's not who he used to be. He's completely different. Completely different. He has his daughter back. He has his brother. And he has a house. He has his own home. He has a place he can call home. He has running water, a bath, whatever, what have you, dude. And so he's softened up. He's become a dad again. Like, you can see that he's become a dad again. The only thing he has to deal with, where he has to kill, is infected. Everyone has to deal with that. So his life is turned around, and he's more laid back than before. And he doesn't have to do the things he did in his past. So, but before I end the review, I kind of want to talk about Abby's character. Abby's character, in my opinion, is the best and most interesting character. Even though I still cannot forgive her for what she did to Joel, I can completely understand what she did to Joel. Plus, you gotta think about that. You have to think about, would you kill your father's killer? Would you do that? You would do the same. Everyone would do the same. Everyone would do the same. But Ellie regained her humanity and realized what everyone said the ending was, because I can't really understand it. I can understand it, but I can't really explain it that well. So, Abby's character is completely justified. She's a very interesting character. Seattle Day 1, and Day 2, Seattle Day 2 of hers, I kind of don't like. The only thing I like about it is the Rat King. And even that, the Rat King, the only complaint I have about the Rat King is that it doesn't look like a bloater. Like, I think it should have like the armor place of a bloater. Because it's just skin. It's just like, it looks like something out of the Evil Within. Like, you know the one lady that's all conjumbled and she chases after you in the opening sequence of the Evil Within? Yeah, it's like that. Like, how are you gonna do that? That doesn't make any sense. And but her character is very much an interesting character and one of the best. But as in regards of Last of Us 3, I do not want one. I must be one of the only people that like the game and just doesn't want one. I don't think it would make sense. I think that Ellie should move on, and it should be just a DLC. We should be able to see Ellie move on, regain stuff with Dina, and see Abby go on her way. I don't want a part 3. I just want a DLC. But Abby's character, what she did was wrong, but you have to understand that she did it because she had to do it. And also, for the people that say the agenda is pushed, either I must be dumb, and I don't see it that well, but I don't see any agenda being pushed. Like some people say Lev is just there for there to be a trans person. I don't really see that. He's there to see how messed up the Seraphites are. They're hunting him because he shaved his head and wants to be a guy, because they were going to force him to, I guess, marry someone. And you also have to realize he's a kid. He's a legit kid. That's why he asked, do you want to ask me about it? About why they called me Lily? That's why he asked that. I mean, in Yara's death, I don't really care less about Yara's death. I mean, it was kind of sad how they just peppered bullets into her. And it was like, haha, down, doggy, down, down, down. And they just murked her, but it's kind of sad. But don't really have a problem with her death. I don't have a problem with a lot of deaths, I'll be honest. The only problem I really have is Joel's death. That really messed me up. Like, I don't cry during games. I've never been so emotional during a game. I really don't. I do not cry during games at all. But anyways, this is not even a review anymore. So so that's my review for The Last of Us Part 2. I had a lot of fun playing this game and reviewing it, and in my opinion, it's a 10 out of 10 and is probably game of the year.